All right, a couple of quick tips on how to improve the accuracy of our family history or genealogy work, because it is history. We're doing it based on sources and what people tell us. And I did a previous video on how to kind of rate the veracity of the sources that we do have. So definitely check that out. If you, yeah, I'm kind of figuring you haven't seen that. Yeah. It's this particular video here, so I know you have not seen it. So check it out. It goes into a lot more depth about the about how much weight we should give each of our sources, if any weight at all. You want to have as many sources as you can. So a lot of times we're doing the research, and this is a pretty good one here. We'll see. Yeah, with this one, this one started a whole. This is why I'm doing the video here. Adi de Matrimonio. This is in the civil records for Canini, Sicilia, where Mia Familia are from, and it is between a Giuseppe Canigliaro and a Maria Passalacca. Very common names. And if we go down here, we could see that the bride and groom, it's not the bride and groom, Giuseppe and Maria, that are the problem, because they're in their 30s over here. That's not, but what you see here, this is what always caught my eye. And I have here my Facebook family group, which makes it really easy to connect with living cousins. So when I see here that Giuseppe was not born in Carini like the bride, see, the bride is from Carini. No, he was actually born in New York City, which leads me to believe that his parents, Vito and Maria Passalacca, immigrated, at least for a time, because he was born in New York City. So to get into this, I have them on my tree, and this is why I'm doing this video here. This is Vito, and from the, for those who are not familiar with the Italian, where it says fu, that means the parent has passed away prior to the marriage. And so I've got that there. So, all right, I can get through this. So you're probably seeing there's a real problem here right from the start. He's born in 1881. And Maria is 1896. Now, this is not about child marriages, but it's about checking your sources. Initially, what I had was when someone from Carini is married overseas, just like what we have here, where Giuseppe is from New York, but he's getting married overseas. When someone from Carini is getting married overseas, they are put in the Adi de Matrimonio, but it's in part 2. So this is the marriage record. I was able to find it for Vito and Maria Passalacca. And you can see here, I'll blow it up, move it so you can see it. Vito Canigliaro and Maria Passalacca. And you could see it was done in Nueva York. And it gives the information, New York, 20 September 1910.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
You don't want these things to be true. Holy crap. So, Vito Canigliaro, and it says Diani, which is of the year, or the years, 28. I know enough Italiano that means 28. 28 is 28. So Diani 28, he's of 28 years. And it gives the Figlio di Giovanni and Elizabeth Canigliaro. It's a very common name. They're not cousins. It's a child marriage, but they're not cousins. Maria Passalacca, Diani. You can see here, it says Quindici. Quindici is 15, for those who don't know. Nubili, that she's never been married before. Of course, it says here that she's 15. And it's reported here that he's 28. But we want to be able to go and have more sources. So we don't just have marriage records, you can also have death records, or morte.
Mort.
And you can go to the birth records. So that's where I found this horrifying information. And this is on Family Search under the catalog. My previous video was a quick tutorial on that, so I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to go into the gallery where it's easier for everyone to read. This is her 27, what day is it? 27 April 1896. This is April of 1896. I will bring that there. You can see the parents' names, Giuseppe and Rosalia Amato. So with this particular record, and we have to give more weight to this record because at least the year is right? I mean, it's not like, I guess you could, I think the presumption is here that they didn't screw up the entire year because it's being put, it's being probably, their scribes are doing it as they go. And so it's not like we forgot to put it in 1885. No, this record seems to be pretty legit here. It is a church record. It is in Latin, and it's horrific because she was not 15. So if we go, where is it? Yeah, here it's saying, and this is 1910. They're saying that they got his age right, 28. But they got her age wrong. And I know what you're thinking, Quindici and 15 and 14. It's at least when you're talking about a child marriage, that every year younger is just it's just an order of magnitude worse. Point in bringing this out and doing this video is just to show that it's very important that we get as many sources as we can, and knowing that we've got the baptism, the civil birth record. You could pull up the civil birth record's not actually available online for 1896, which really sucks. But they are available for quite a few. From if you're talking about Italy, in Sicilia, 1826, about 1826 for the civil records. There's a gap in the Antonati records. So it does show that there are conflicting records. And so what do we do when we have a conflicting record, which you're going to have? One, you want to have as many sources as we can is going to help. So we could find a death record, but we know that may not be accurate if she's doing the reporting. Well, I'm guessing that here it's put down that she's actually 15 instead of 14 because 14 is just so much worse than 15. 14 makes it that he's literally, I didn't want to make a video about child marriage, but he is double her age. So what do we do when we have conflicting records? I think here that this record obviously conflicts with the later marriage record. I think this particular record, on the circumstances in which it was done, I think we could be safe in presuming that it's accurate, that her birth year is at least 1896. And being 1896, August or April of 1896, and she was married in September of 1910, she's 14 years old. So, yeah, I have seen errors on marriage records like this. I saw one in particular, another child marriage. She was put down as 14. She was actually 11. So, another Amato. The marriage records may tend to be more inaccurate. So if we're looking at inaccurate records, the later records are probably going to be more inaccurate, at least when we're dealing with immigrants, and that seems to be it. I just did recently. Yeah, I just recently did this one. I did a lot of research for this particular record. It's Giuseppe Randazzo from Genealogy, Sicilia. He got his birth date wrong. He got the marriage date wrong, although it was May 25th, 1910. And he got his wife's birth date wrong. And so I've been able to confirm all the dates. So unfortunately, a lot of the reporting on here, so whoever did the reporting on here was probably Giuseppe. Luckily, the birth dates for his 3 children are pretty much on the money. So he only screwed up his stuff and his wife. So we're going to have conflicting records, which really sucks. And I do have another conflicting record. It's a government record, but like I mentioned before and in other videos, you have to consider the source. So even though it's a government record, so here it is the census record for Brooklyn, where they lived, 1915. That's important. So we see that they are here, Vito Canigliato and Maria Pasalaca, because her mother is right here. She has a 12-year-old brother in 1915. So we look here as to what was reported, that Vito is 32 and that his wife, Maria, is 22. That is not true. We know that's not true because we know she was born in April of 1896. And this census record is June of 1915, which means she's 19. But what they did get correct, she's 19 years old with a 5-year-old son, Giovanni.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So I could see where they would have fudged her age here, because the census taker probably would have been like, I think I need to go see the police. Yeah, her family was in Sicily when she was married. So where was the parental... It's not a video about child marriages and the horrors of child marriage, but it does show here very clearly that that even though it's a government record, the veracity of the information is in question and should always be in question till you can verify it, because there's reason to lie, or they just legitimately don't know. Here here whoever reported, yeah, there's good reason why they didn't report this correctly, and that reason is, yes, she was 19 with a 5-year-old child. So we've got to have good records that we can verify other records or other information that we may get. Here, the information, horrifying. So at least in this particular case, I would say that the earliest record, something under these conditions where it's a baptism record or a civil birth record, is going to be more accurate than a later marriage record, because you got to look at who's doing the reporting, and is there a reason to, like here, to kind of fudge the information, the age? There's a lot more motivation to fudge the age here. Again, Vente Alto and Quindici, that's an infamia. That's an infamia. So that's going to do it for this particular video. I do have shirts available if you want to help that way to help support the channel. You can just go under the store link here on my YouTube channel. And I also, especially if you are from the western end of Sicily or Italian in general, if you do need help with finding your family history and doing some research, I am available for that. You can contact me here on the channel.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.